Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. As we get closer and closer to this year's election, you're seeing more and more celebrities and notable figures jumping in on the political conversation. Tyrese Gibson will call out the COVID-19 hate crimes bill, referring to it as the Asian Anti-Hate Crime Bill, which was passed as a response to the rising crimes against the Asian community. Tyrese would accuse President Biden and Kamala Harris of signing this bill into law, while also accusing them of ignoring the hate crimes committed against Black and Latino community. When Roland Martin caught wind of these comments, he immediately took to Twitter in order to implore Tyrese to stop speaking on things he knows nothing about. Martin would then begin to correct Tyrese by breaking down the hate crime bills that were made in response to violence against Black people, while asking for entertainers to stop spreading misinformation. Today we have our Comedy Hype analysts Sean Larkins and Steve Brown on the show to talk all about it. But before we get started, I must mention the upcoming Greenfest Festival thrown by the HBCU Green Fund. Greenfest will have music, food, spoken word, comedy, and activities for all ages on Saturday, September the 7th at Truly Living Well Farm in Atlanta. Please visit the Instagram page of the HBCU Green Fund for more information. Now let's take a look at these clips.
President Biden and Kamala Harris signed an Asian hate crime bill, which makes it beyond illegal to ever purposely and maliciously do anything to anybody in the Asian community. And there was a spike in crimes and criminal behavior in and around COVID, allegedly and specifically motivated by Trump. And so everybody started treating Asians, beating them, killing them, shooting them, stabbing them, hurting them. And then he gets into the White House, skips over every Black and brown Mexican and Latino that have been getting killed like flies, and he makes it a law. Asian hate crime bill is signed into law.
Learn to fact check before you start talking. I have debunked this nonsense numerous times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. That is a lie. I literally have walked through the bill on my show. In the summary, it talks about the attacks on Asian Americans. It is called the COVID-19, it specifically mentions COVID-19. If you actually read the bill, which I've done on the air multiple times, it does not only apply to Asian Americans, it applies to everybody. It also, all it did was also create one job that compiled data. And so again, Tyrese, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. And so please, all of you entertainers, when y'all jump out here and make videos and people run with it, I need you to do some verification, do some fact checking before you do that. Okay? So you're wrong. It is not. People called it the Asian hate crime bill because of the attacks. And if you're also going to run your mouths out here and go, there's never been a bill for African Americans, that's a lie. There have been 3 hate crimes bills specific to African Americans. The first one, you were dealing with the Civil Rights Act in 64. Okay. Then you also had the hate crimes bill that dealt with Black churches were being burned. I also broke that down on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And then, of course, you had the lynching bill that was also signed. Okay. And don't forget, you also have the Matthew Shepard, James Byrd Act that dealt with hate crimes. Yeah, James Byrd, the Black man who was dragged to death in Jasper, Texas. I went there. I broadcast from there. I walked down the street when he was murdered. And so please, all you blogs that keep posting this stuff, and Tyrese says he's wrong. He's wrong. Okay? I've walked this stuff through on my show. Bill by bill, fact by fact. Got it? Please call somebody before you start spewing stuff that you know nothing about.
Now, of course, a lot of people are responding to this on social media, so I want to bring it here as well. I'm going to start with you first. Sean, what are your thoughts hearing from both? Because we've heard from Tyrese and Roland, but what's your thoughts on both parts?
First of all, I'm also tired of entertainers and actors and people giving their opinion and they don't know what's going on. So as a comedian, let me give you my opinion. No.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. No, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know either. And I'm gonna say I thought that was the bill. I thought it was an Asian hate crime bill. Now maybe it was inspired by what had happened, but I really thought it was because of the Asians being attacked. So I'll admit, hey, I was wrong as well. I didn't have a platform to put out that much wrong information,
right.
But I did say that on Facebook myself, and so
excuse me, can y'all zoom in and let him say that again? I was what?
I was wrong.
As hell. As hell.
So hearing from Roland, where he kind of provides the information, what are your thoughts around that? And knowing that you once also referred to it as the Asian hate crime bill, did that do anything for you?
It was good to get the right information because there's a lot of misinformation going around. Because where do you get your information from? Most of us aren't gonna go and Google the exact documents to read it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your information online. That's how I would probably say 70-80% of us get our information is online. So how much of that is factual?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for being honest in that. I think it's
Yes.
important too, because a lot of people feel the same way. But before we get there,
He rarely is.
Steve, let me come to you. Same thing after hearing from Tyrese and then following up with Roland Martin. What's your reaction?
But first off, I know Roland personally. He's a good brother. He talked too damn much. We worked on the Tom Joyner cruise for many years, so he's a good brother. Tyrese, I don't know him, but I'm a fan of Tyrese. But I will say Tyrese.
And Roland wants to be a comedian.
He does. He does. Tyrese did what a lot of us do. He spoke based on emotion instead of facts. And Roland, if you're he is a debater, so he's always going to fact check everything. And in this case, Tyrese was wrong. But again, like Sean has done before, I've done it. We all done it. We've made decisions based on emotion, on what we believe and how we feel.
Yeah.
So it was wrong, and Roland was right. I'm with Roland on this one.
Yeah. Now, I think obviously there are a lot of people that refer to that bill as the Asian, even like I remember the hashtag Stop Asian Hate, like all the things. Why do you think, because this isn't the first time, this isn't the first thing we've seen a lot of misinformation constantly being poured and being retold over and over.
Right.
It's like kind of like playing telephone. What are your thoughts? Why do you feel like we're seeing misinformation happen in this way?
Well, sadly, a lot of us don't read, but then again, we were misinformed or we were manipulated by Donald Trump because he said a lot of derogatory things about Asians, and because of that, a lot of Asians were being attacked. And then when the bill came along, nobody really put out there that it was for everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody just assumed that it was just for the Asians, and we all were upset about it, and we were rightfully so upset. It really wasn't put out there that it was for everybody. So.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Why do you think we see so much information being delivered in such a way that just far from the truth? Even like when you talk about like the internet, I remember at one point like people used to look at the news for information.
Yeah, there was a time when you went to your local news and that's where you got your news from. Now you go to, depending on which way you lean, left or right. Am I going to go to a left-leaning news source? Am I going to go to a right-leaning news source? Because let's say CNN and Fox can get the exact same story, and they're going to put two different spins on it to lean toward their followers. So depends on how you get it. I actually once during COVID, and I put on Facebook, I said, who are the most neutral news sites I can go to?
I remember that post.
So I can get a neutral and an exact factual information about what this story is without getting a spin on it.
And can I add to that, please?
Yeah.
Also, back then, not many years ago, the news was about putting out the right information, everything factual. Now it's changed. The media is all about putting it out first.
Yeah.
And it can be wrong, but it's all about who puts it out first. They can go back and debunk and say all these things like allegedly and this and that, and but yeah, they want to get it out first, whether it's right or wrong. So times have changed when it comes to media.
So what do we do, right? Because obviously times are changing. Where we're getting information from is changing. Things are moving fast on social media. Is it taking the Roland Martin route of when you see something wrong, you take to social media to call that person out, followed up by information? Or is it that we're holding platforms accountable so that they can be mindful of like, hey, if I have somebody on my platform and they say some information, I need to make sure that they do some research, like holding them accountable where they get in trouble? Or is it mixed into like, what do we do? What do we do?
Well, first off, we have to act in logic and facts instead of acting out on emotion. That's just what it is. We do need more people. Well, yeah, but we also do need more people like Roland Martin who actually fact check and put them on platforms, even if it's your platform and you go behind him, make sure everything is adequate and correct, and put him on your platform. You know, if it doesn't always have to be about you putting out the information, because if you're putting it out and it's wrong, you're just as bad as these news sources who are putting it out first.
But the thing about it, Tyrese didn't think he was putting out wrong information.
Well, but you know what? That's Tyrese's fault because he didn't fact check either. He just acted out on emotion and put it out there, and he sounded very convincing. And believe it or not, Tyrese, I love you, brother, but you were loud and wrong.
But what about the fact that this bill may not be an Asian crime bill, but it was based off of the crimes towards Asians at that specific time?
Well, a lot of crimes were going on against Asians at that specific time because of Donald Trump. And I'm saying, and I know this for a fact, because he was saying all this, I think with Kung flu and putting all this stuff out. So it made people automatically think,
people were mad at Asians regardless because the world has shut down because of something that came from their country. I understand that,
but I'm saying people were targeting Asians because of what he said.
It's like
and
reiterating.
He just kept reiterating it. So automatically.
Well, thank God it didn't come from Atlanta, Detroit, because we all be gone.
Well, but the thing is,
thank God it didn't come from a pot of greens. The whole thing.
Don't bring my mom into this. Listen, it's a bill for everyone, but for some reason, I don't know if it was a breakdown in communication when it got to us to make us feel like it was just for the Asians. And I think they should have done a better job letting us know as black people that, hey, it's for everybody, including y'all. That's what I think.
Let me ask you this, Sean. What were your thoughts seeing, and I want to preface this because I think a lot of people do this as well, where they'll see a clip and run with it. A lot of people I saw in the comments were upset that they didn't see Ben Crump kind of correct Tyrese, being that Ben Crump is a civil rights attorney, all the things like even I saw a comment that was like, the least he could have done was like tell him about the crimes that were, or the bills that were created because of what was happening to black people. What were your thoughts seeing Ben Crump not correct Tyrese in the clip that we did see? And I want to preface that in the clip that we did see, we did not see the full extent.
Well, I don't want to speak ill about the brother Ben Crump because he's doing a lot of good, but
don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I am not. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Can I speak on it? First off, a shout out to Ben Crump.
I met the brother. I met the brother.
He's an active financial member of Omega South Africa Incorporated.
You ain't paid your dues, though. I heard you ain't paid your dues.
Listen, anyway, I can't really speak on what he said or what he didn't say because, again, the whole clip wasn't shown. And we have a knack of taking part of the clip or a portion of it and just running with it instead of watching it. And it goes back to reading. Folks, we gotta read. We gotta read. We gotta break these things down. Stop taking what you hear from celebrities and running with it. Now you can take it from me, Sean ain't a celebrity. I'm one. So take it from me. I read. I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah, no,
I just wanted to say that.
No, I love that. I think even like seeing some of the criticism, my first thought when I saw that I didn't hear Ben Crump like correct him immediately. My first thought was like, I want to see the whole clip. Like I was like, where's the rest of it?
So do you feel like Ben should know better and should have said something?
Well, I don't know if he did.
Don't know
My hope is that he did. My hope is that he was able to. I hope that in the beginning he was just giving him love to reaffirm like, I understand where you're coming from, because the reality of it is there's an understanding of the sensitivities that Black people have about this bill. We're talking about, like, okay, you see, Asians have this, hate towards them, and then there's a bill that happens when we're constantly seeing us dying at the hands of police, but we don't see anything happening. So the sensitivity of it is absolutely true. So I hope that he was just confirming that with Tyrese, but I hope he followed that up with some information to say, okay, I understand, now that I've told you I understand your sensitivities, let me allow to give you facts over your feelings.
Right.
Actually, there were bills created for us. There were, this is what the bill was. I see you pulling out your phone.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the clip, and I've just finished it. Ben Crump just told Tyrese to shut the hell up.
Stop. You know what? Always a mess. No, but I hope he did. But I think in reality, I think conversations like this is important for you to be able to say, like, hey, I was once uninformed, but now I'm informed.
Right.
So now you're able to take that and move. And I hope that people can come with a openness of, like, to be ready
It's
to
hard for
receive
people
the
to say. It's hard for
information.
people to say they was wrong.
It is, and that's why I'm bigging you up so much,
I
because
appreciate it.
it's gonna be a lot of people that's, you're so quick to just, like, go on defense, like, oh man, you don't know. And it's like, but instead you were just like, you know what? I didn't know.
Symphony, step on his neck.
I'm
You was wrong. Step on his.
I'm not.
Right
I'm gonna
here on
embrace my
Comedy
brother
High.
in love.
You was wrong as hell.
You gotta be the example, Steve. And
Okay,
Steve, why
let me
you say it like that?
let me be the example.
Go ahead,
He was
Grandpa.
wrong as hell. He should shut the hell up. We don't want him back on this show.
Okay, anyway, as always, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. You know how I like to end. I like to know what y'all have going on. And let me just say, I missed y'all very much yesterday.
We
I
missed
missed
you too,
too.
Simp.
I missed you too.
Look at
I didn't
that.
miss him because he was
See,
wrong.
And I was gonna come to you.
Go to him first.
I'm not. I have to.
It's gonna be short.
Sean, what do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you?
Follow me, right here, Sean, SEAN_Larkins. This weekend, I will be with the brother Steve Brown in Montgomery, Alabama,
That is.
home of the boat fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and
bring
then-
your chair.
Yeah, bring your chairs. and then this Sunday, I will be in Washington, D.C. With Ricky Smiley.
Absolutely.
No, Saturday, I'm sorry. Friday
okay.
with him, Saturday with Ricky.
I'm the bigger name.
Steve, what do you have coming up?
First, you can follow me on Instagram, Comic Steve Brown, one word. Follow my fan page on Facebook, Comedian Steve Brown fan page. I have my second annual Central Homecoming alumni comedy show in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, raising money for Central High School, my alma mater. Then Friday, I will be with Sean Larkin in Montgomery at the Davis Center. It's going to be absolutely off the chain. And then I'll be in Mobile Saturday doing my thing with Rich Boy.
Really?
Nice. So that's going to be interesting. But yeah, that's what it is. And of course, you can catch me here on the Comedy Hype platform. Yeah, there it is.
Absolutely. Mobile has some really good food too.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about Mobile. I
Yeah,
learned Mardi Gras started.
Mardi Gras
Mobile.
started in Mobile.
Mardi Gras
And you know what else?
Speaking of information, what?
Hey, you know what else? Sean was wrong.
I can't. You
I
know
was.
what? But
I was
now
wrong.
he's right, and that's what makes it
The
great.
emoji.
As always, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. But you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts about Roland Martin checking Tyrese over the COVID-19 hate crime bill? And remember to bring the entire family and stop by the Comedy Hype booth to say hello at the HBCU Green Fund Screen Fest for music, comedy, and spoken word. Reporting live from Hyper Clubhouse in Atlanta for Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Sean gonna cry in the car.